is the Michigan Football Report here on YouTube from Chat Sports, and we are 20 hours away from Michigan heading to Penn State. So we got a little bit of information, some big news on injuries, and then we'll talk a little bit of this uniform chatter out there. So want to break down what you can expect on today's show. A big injury update. I got DM'd this on Twitter, and then I had to go deep into the archives of Facebook. I should be a private investigator, I think, for what I was able to pull up from the comment sections of Facebook on a Michigan football injury update. Number two, a lot of uniform rumors out there for Michigan at Penn State. Is it going to be the white jersey, their typical road jersey with some different pants, or a lot of people talking about different jerseys? We'll see what we know about that. College football playoff chatter. Tuesday night, Michigan was ranked number 6 over Michigan State. Kind of kept causing uproar across the internet. Michigan State fans in shambles, and now there are some odds for potential matchups should Michigan win out and get into the college football playoff. We'll talk about those. And then change in offensive approach. Michigan has been in a ground rate offense all year. Went to the air a little more against Michigan State, and I've got some insight into what to expect tomorrow against Penn State. But we're going to keep this bad boy rolling. It's done us good so far. Let's put the vibes out there to Michigan. The team is on the road as we speak, heading to Happy Valley. When they pull out their phone, they go to YouTube, see what you're saying out there. Show them some love in the videos. Let's get 1,000, 1,500 likes onto this video. If you like the video, that means you'd like to beat Penn State. If you don't, you know what that means. About 3:30 Eastern on Saturday, if Michigan loses the game, look in the mirror and blame yourself, because it's you. It'll be you that caused the loss and nobody else. But if you like it, not going to happen, of course. All right, let's talk about the breaking news. Blake Corum is out tomorrow against Penn State, per his father on Facebook. So I got sent a screenshot earlier today, and then I was like, this can't be real. So I looked like, okay, there's a few James Corums on Twitter. Okay, that photo, I just, had to zoom in, all that. But Gloria J. Shelton is not a very common name on Facebook, so found that person, found that she's friends with the whole Corum fan, got into this thread, and here is what I found. So I screenshot this myself. Gloria J. Shelton, she's friends with, on Facebook, with Blake's mom, Blake's dad, Blake's sister, and what appears to be a cousin on there. So I went in the Corum comments. James Corum posted just this afternoon, said he was heading to a sporting event for his daughters. One of his daughters, Blake's younger sister, a lot of people commenting, congrats, and hope they do well, etc. Then you get this comment, good luck, and then talking about the game, best for you, Blake, and you see what he says there. I love what does it say, ham biscuits? Yeah, Blake is out for this week, and that was posted just this afternoon. I verified it myself. If you want to do a little investigative digging, go look up Blake's dad, James Corum, on Facebook. Go to the post where he talks about attending his daughter's sporting event today, and look in the comments. You can verify it for yourself. Now, a little more digging on this. It seems that this injury may not just be a one-week thing. If he doesn't play tomorrow, I would say that is signaling to me that, from what I've heard, that Maryland is quite unlikely as well. Hope to rush him back for Ohio State, but still potentially not 100%, in the month of November, based on what we've been hearing. All right, Michigan is now a favorite. The money has come in heavy over the last 24, 48 hours on Michigan. The bets are fairly even, but the big money gamblers, the people putting up hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars on games, not the nickel and dimers, 5 or 10 or 20 bucks on games, are coming in. The big ones coming in on Michigan, so the spread has moved about 2.5 points all in, because there's a pick 'em. Then it went to actually Penn State for a day or so, -1. Now it is Michigan at -1.5. So the people who put a lot of money on the table are going for Michigan as of late, and that has adjusted the spread. Sportsbooks want to keep the bets even, so they just kind of keep the 10% from the losers. So they are trying to incentivize people who previously thought Penn State, oh, wow, I got some extra value right there. Over-under is 48.5. Predict the score, though. Go down in the comments and predict the score. Number 6 Michigan at the crazy that they're not unranked, but unranked Penn State Nittany Lions with 3 losses, but they've got 2 wins over top 20 Wisconsin, top 20 Auburn, both of those teams who do have 3 losses themselves. So go down in the comment, predict the score of this game. Let's see if anybody can get it right. You might get hit with a YouTube ad break here. If you do, scroll down, reply to the pinned comment where I ask for the score predictions, roll back up, and the ad should be over. All right, social media and my texts were buzzing this morning into the afternoon about Michigan wearing Maize jerseys or even all Maize uniforms Saturday against Penn State. And, of course, Michigan couldn't wear their blue jerseys because Penn State wears blue home jerseys. And so if they're going to do anything different, it would have to be pants or Maize jerseys, which technically are contrasting color. So if certain things are met, that they'd be able to do. So I'll just kind of roll through some of the stuff on social media. This is, a few tweets and photos of a couple dozen. At Michigan FB23, they go and wear Maize. They're going to go in Maize tops tomorrow. Tops being jerseys. I guess tops is a term for jerseys. That's not one I would normally use, but whatever. I get what he's saying there. Gage, coming in, mgoblue_Gage. Good follow on Twitter. Maize jerseys tomorrow with blue bottoms is a rumor swirling around Twitter. Eye emojis, go blue, hashtag wear Maize. And then he posted this photo here, which is in edit, right? That's from the Florida game in 2017. The all Maize jerseys, the only time the program has ever worn them, and just editing on blue pants. But then, Jawan We Trust on Twitter, clearly, I don't know, Michigan basketball influencer, not one account I had followed, but nevertheless, he tweeted this photo, all Maize uniforms with the triple eye emoji. So those are just 3 or 4 tweets out of there out of a couple dozen. And so I'm like, oh, wow, this would be interesting. Apparently the leadership council of this team gets to make the decisions. But as I've looked into it a little more, I'm going to say this right now. I highly doubt this is true for a couple reasons. One, Penn State would have to agree to it, or Michigan would be wildly penalized if they don't. Penn State can agree to it, and then the Big Ten also has to agree to it, that try to sign off and say the teams are wearing contrasting color jerseys, so Michigan couldn't wear blue, Penn State wear blue, anything like that. If they do, cool, it happens. If they don't, though, Michigan technically could still wear Maize jerseys because they're contrasting without permission from Penn State, but they would lose a timeout every single quarter that they snap the ball wearing them, so Michigan would have basically one timeout per half, and they would be penalized 15 yards after the kickoff on both halves. So wildly punitive for Michigan to do so. So without Penn State's buy-in, that would be interesting. So wanted to ask you guys this question, just based on the buzz out there. Which jerseys will Michigan wear tomorrow, high noon in Happy Valley, the Maize jerseys or the white jerseys? I want you to go down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this one. Give me an answer, Maize or white. All right, coming in. Got to break into this because I had the producer, I had the production assistant come on set. She threw up her hand, say, stop the show. We've got new information. I said, let's keep it rolling. It's cool. Kind of gave a little type there. And, folks, she handed me this. I've got documents here. I've got documents about these Maize jerseys, and I'm going to say this. The rumor is fabricated by a complete scumbag Michigan fan, a guy who refuses to tell his real identity out there, but he tries to be a podcaster, quits that, tries to be a blogger, quits that, tries to be now on Spotify, Green Room host. He's got like 2 people watch him a day. But he's always on Twitter. I've heard some wild rumors about this guy in the past, that he shows up at high school football players' games trying to be buddies with them, follows them to McDonald's with their friends afterwards, trying to hang out. Complete scumbag. Apparently put it on Sam Webb's website. Source came through, got called out, debunked on this message board. Then he comes back and says, oh, no, I was right, but Penn State turned it down. Penn State wouldn't let Michigan do that. I think it's a complete lie. From what I'm seeing in these documents here, screenshots and verified things that have been deleted off the internet, Twitter, and Webb's little message board, this guy, Blueprint J, is nothing but a purveyor of fake news and rumors. You see him on Twitter, just say, Jay, Yoder told me you're a part-time driver for FedEx. Nothing wrong with that, but you're no Michigan football insider. You're just a scumbag trying to get clout off of 17-year-old kids and 18-year-old kids that you stalk on Twitter. Complete scumbag move, Blueprint J. I'm not having any of it. Had to call him out based on what the Chat Sports research and development and statistics team uncovered today on the internet. All right. Had to put that out there, but now we're transitioning a little bit better. BetUS is the spot to put money on the Michigan Wolverines. If you want to bet them, if you think they're going to cover that 1.5-point spread tomorrow, chatsports.com/goblue. I personally am on a roll. Out of 14 people in our Chat Sports betting league, we all put money on 5 games every single week. NFL, number 1, winning week 6 of the last 7 weeks. I'm on a roll. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see my picks. I put all my bets with BetUS, chatsports.com/goblue. Head there, use the promo code GoBlue, use that link, and you'll get a 125% deposit bonus. You put in 100, extra 125, 200, extra 250. Allows you to lose a few games, not completely deplete your bankroll. Go with BetUS, chatsports.com/GoBlue. All right, so this morning, I think it was this morning, some of the sports books put out potential. You can't bet on these yet, but they like it's more of a marketing play from some of these companies. Possible college football betting lines for a semi-final game. So what happens if Michigan was in the semifinal, the round of four, Final Four, not the championship game, against Alabama, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, and some other teams. We're going to show you those here in 1 second, but I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel. I must ask you a favor. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com. Getting a shake from the producer. I say it to my son sometimes. I'm like, I must ask you a question. Now I actually have a mustache. It works much better than the finger. I must ask you a favor is subscribe to the channel. We hit 16,000 subscribers. Really appreciate everyone who has subscribed, been on the ride with us for the last 3 seasons and beyond. Subscribe to the channel. You get hopefully notifications when we put out a new video, so you'll be able to watch it the moment we put something out. You'll be in the know on rumors like Blake Corum's injury, and you won't believe scumbags like Blueprint Jay and his fake news and stalking 17-year-old kids. We don't do any of that here at the Michigan Football Report. So subscribe, tell your friends, tell your people. What's about mustache? Despite the mustache, yeah, I'm listening to the production team. Just give me the business on the mustache. So despite the mustache, you can still subscribe, and I'm going to shave it after the Michigan-Ohio State game. But Michigan wins, I might just keep it forever. Here is what the spreads would be if Michigan were to face the following 6 teams. All right, the first 3 here, there would be a wildly heavy underdog. Michigan would be plus 16, meaning there would be a 16-point underdog to Alabama. 14-point underdog to Georgia, 16 to Georgia, 14 to Alabama, 10.5 to Ohio State. Now, what that says to me, though, is that the potential line in 2 weeks in Ann Arbor, Michigan coming to Ohio State coming to the Big House, means that Michigan will probably be a 7.5 or an 8-point underdog. They're at home. They get the 2 or 3 point spread. Maybe they'll build in a little bit. Well, Ohio State's really beaten Michigan's butt the last few times, but nevertheless, I expect that one to probably be anywhere from 7 to 9. Given this would be based on a neutral field game. How about some lesser, talented opponents? Oklahoma, Cincinnati, Oregon. Still not that great when it comes to Michigan. They would be 4.5 point underdogs to Oklahoma, a 1 point underdog to Cincinnati. It'd be a pick'em game against the Oregon Ducks. I doubt in any scenario Michigan would face Oregon because I don't think either one of those teams would end up in the top 2. But nevertheless, those would be the point spread games, the point spreads of games against top 6, top 7 teams in the college football playoff. Should Michigan make it in there coming up here? We'll find out, I guess, 3 weeks from Sunday. Yeah, 3 weeks from Sunday is the final college football rankings. And hopefully Michigan will be in there if they beat Penn State and then Maryland and Ohio State. Last story of the day, last thing we're going to talk about it, is Michigan's offensive philosophy going into this game, knowing now that they are going to be down Blake Corum. Donovan Edwards will play, from what I know as of Friday afternoon. He'll be your backup running back, and they put a lot of toll on Hassan Haskins last week, is that they see the opportunity against a stout Penn State defense, not necessarily in the running game, their bread and butter all year, but potentially a passing-focused approach against Penn State. And I'm thinking, now that I hear this news inside of practice and strategy, are they going to go with the same approach as the Michigan State game, which is you knew that Michigan State was not very good against the pass, right? Penn State's clearly better against the pass, but that they were going to key on Michigan, running attack and make them pass it. So why not just play into it, go with the flow, start passing the game? Cade McNamara's most passing attempts by a big chunk in his career was against Michigan State. And from what I'm hearing, with Blake Corum out, Donovan Edwards probably only 85, 90%, but will play. And if Andrew Anthony comes back, we'll talk about that, then Michigan potentially should be, this is potential for success. Penn State has given up quite a few yards recently. After giving up only 38 yards in their loss to Illinois, when Illinois ran for like 350 yards, but only 38 yards passing, as crazy as that sounds, Ohio State and Maryland back-to-back have kind of done whatever they wanted through the air against this Penn State defense. Last week, Tua's brother, Talia Tagovailoa, 371 yards passing on like 50-some attempts, and then Ohio State 305, and C.J. Stroud probably could have gone for 450, but they had it going on the ground as well, and then when they had a little bit of lead, they kept grounding and pounding it out there on out. So 376 yards the last couple weeks. If the I'm sorry, 676 the last couple weeks. If the wide receivers and the tight ends are healthy, if Andrew Anthony played, which I'm slightly less confident because apparently he wasn't a complete full go in practice on Thursday, so slightly less confident in Andrew Anthony, very confident that Eric All will play. If All plays, if all the other wide receivers, A.J. Henning, etc., there's no injuries that we don't know about, they should definitely air it out. They should take to the air, move the ball through the air early on. This Penn State defense is very good, right? They're only giving up 16.7 yards per game this year, 10th of the NCAA, but it's been proven that they can be hurt through the air, right? You don't hurt them through the ground. I don't necessarily think that is going to happen with Michigan in this one. I think if Michigan's going to go in and win this game, they can't just rely on run the ball 55 times that they have in quite a few games early on in the year. They better pass it. Cade McNamara better be on his game, and if they do, it'll open things up for the run. Michigan can get a 10-point lead in the first half and then keep it rolling into the second half and get a win at Happy Valley. One more reminder, though, folks. Just one more reminder. Karma. Don't jinx it. Like the video. Get the win. Don't be looking in the mirror just with a tear rolling down your eyes and blaming yourself for this Penn State loss. I don't want to blame you. I'm liking the video. I'm not blaming myself. So like the video. It doesn't hurt. It can only help. Do it. Michigan's probably going to win tomorrow. And we'll talk to you of the fastest post-game show in college football immediately after Michigan-Penn State tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us then. Till then, go Blue.